Hey guys, it's a wet day in Sydney at the moment. I'd love to be doing this outdoors at an actual Motiv8sports event. I'm not though. I've borrowed some factory space and we're going to show you how to do this cool Motiv8sports Olympic individual event in our little space. The big thing I need you to understand is we've compacted our equipment into a tiny area. I'm going to go through some measurements with you. Remember, there's no exact in this, but it's got to work from a setup point of view where you're maximising the use of space. For example, let's say I've just run my sport super soccer. I would not be able to have this set up on my super soccer field. By the way, the individual event we're doing right now is called F1 RACERS. Kids love it. Kids love using equipment they can actually touch. They love something that's different to a stock standard throwing for distance or a sprinting race. It's F1 RACERS. I had to be careful there, I could have said something else. So for you guys, I'm really lucky. Let's say at the school I've just run super soccer, I've got a spare basketball court. No one's using it. I can have this set up ready to go. I could have a spare bit of grass that's not used and have it set up ready to go. But let's say you don't have the luxury of having that space. It only took me 3 minutes to set this up, all by myself. Xander just watched me set it up. If you're wondering what Xander's doing here, he's my kid. He's a big kid, I know, but he's just here to help me demonstrate because unfortunately I'm missing about 20 kids I need to do this. Hopefully you guys have got a good creative imagination and you can picture the big group of kids sitting in front of me. So let's say I've done my sport super soccer. I've done a cheer off. I need about 15 minutes to get this done properly. So I've got my score sheet here ready to go for the individual events. I'm going to do a demo of how this works. Now, in the middle, you'll see we've got a tug-of-war rope. With the tug-of-war rope, I would never ever, doing this reel, double it up like that. It would become a big trip hazard. If you have a look here, kids could get their feet caught in it. So what I do, I can use cones for the circle, and if I've got a lot of space, I can just do the rope around once, okay? If it's just one piece of rope that makes a nice circle, it's not as much of a dangerous trip hazard of having all these bits here. So definitely don't forget that, and look, like I said, if you're gonna do cones or hoops or whatever it is, just make sure it's really clear and visual for the kids. I avoid using the agility poles that can spring back and forth, because in an activity like this, kids can get hit by them. So with F1 RACERS, we've got our 4 tyres. We're going to watch Xander do a bit of a demo. The race is really simple. I call 4 kids to the start line. So as a coach, I'm going to keep this simple. I might say for round number 1, can I get all the kids from Brazil, the 4 kids from Brazil, stand up? Let's say I've got 5 kids from Brazil. Well, the 5th kid, they get to go in the next race. So 4 kids from Brazil, up you go. They each take the starting line. 1 kid will be here. We got Xander here. We've got Maxi facing this way and we've got Julian facing this way. So 4 kids ready to go. On the coach's ready, set, go, or the coach's whistle, they're going to wheel their tyre. They can't carry it. They can't pick it up. They've got to turn it around cone 1 and they must get the whole tyre back in the circle. They then head out to cone or turn 2. They go around. As you can see, Xander's not picking up the tyre. He's not cheating. He then goes for the final lap of F1 RACERS. He turns the final bend and he comes heading towards the finish line. What do you know? Xander's first one back. I know you're probably laughing. I'm using a bit of animation, a bit of Formula 1 racing terminology. But as a coach, that's what you got to do. Blow the whistle, commentate, use terms like he's hit turn 1. Look at the speed. If kids are picking up the tyre, as some of the big kids will do, and they're running around the cone, pull them up, penalise them, eliminate them. This is an event. You've got to follow the rules. It's simple as that. Xander won the race. Xander, I need you to sit over there. You're going to be in the semi-final later on. High five, champion. Good job, mate. Remember, don't touch the kids. A high five will do. I call up the next 4 kids. Can I have the next from Mexico? If I've got 20 kids and 4 lanes, that means I'm going to have 5 races. That means I'm going to end up with 5 winners. Why do I call the kids up country by country? I love my final to have someone from every country. If I've got 4 countries, how good would that be? Then all the kids nodding and cheering. Don't forget on the score sheet, Those kids that got eliminated, they still get a point for their country. But what do? I've got 5 kids now. I might have semi-final number 1 and I might call 2 kids up. I might even call a wild card of kids that have been well behaved. Imagine how good that would be. You have 3 kids in semi-final 1 and one of those kids was a wild card who was just a kid cheering, sitting down. They lost their race, but they get another go. From the semi-final, I might have first 2 kids go through to the grand final. The kid that doesn't get through the grand final, I give him 2 points. Everyone else got 1. I run 2 semi-finals and I'm left with 4 kids in a final. In the final, it's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Remember, for the final, first place gets 8 comp points for their country. They also get their name written on the honour board. So you've got to write their name on your score sheet. Second place gets 7 points. Third place gets 6. Fourth place gets 5. Happy days. Remember, the other kids got either 2 or 1. That is F1 races. In regards to distance, I would probably have that last orange cone, I would have that at least 10 metres away from the rope if I could. And then I'd space everyone accordingly to that 10 metres. So what do you need for this? To finish up the video, you need 4 tyres, you need something to make a really good circle with. Don't use those flimsy, crummy cones. The kids want to go around big obstacles. If you've got inflatable men, chuck a few of them in. Big, thick orange cones. 4 by 3 would be, you need 12 orange cones. Hey guys, enjoy F1 races. The kids love it. It's going to be an absolute hit at the Motiv8 Sports Olympics.